was like the guy in the films long ago, Tarzan. Just phenomenal strength. I would have hated to have run into him at any stage.
Noel Noel Laochra and bark, but when the fueler father.
Noel O'Leary always puts his heart and his soul into everything that he does out in a football field.
Being Gael testal with Edidian, Gael Ben Noel O'Leary.
Sometimes he was playing right on the edge, and that's when he played his best football.
Well, if the referee saw that, I think it would be a red card.
Discipline was probably something that I flirted with in a big way. There are times, you know, that I certainly wasn't proud of.
The referee is giving a yellow card to Paul Galvin, and Noel O'Leary gets away scot-free.
Just watch me now.
Sprale the market clohi when Roddy Marshini Gishkent.
With two individuals with that amount of drive, there was always going to be flashpoints.
Some activity going on, as you can see, Noel O'Leary and Paul Galvin.
Vi en splank egen atra. What is stolen go will on me on Keanan's vertical.
There was always a sense that we kind of wanted to have a kind of a cut off each other or whatever.
Players get a reputation, you know, he's mad. They do have their lives, and their lives have their difficulties.
En tragod is tragod uvasake.
Having them go one by one like that, it was devastating, really. You kind of make the three guys were driving for us. You're at a Y in the road, you can either go left or you can go right. We took the right, as the fella said, and I suppose the pinnacle of all that was football. That's what kind of, I suppose, slowly but surely brought us around. My father, his background was in timber. He had his own sawmill. We spent a lot of our childhood down here and helping him and running around the place, and to this day, you know, I still kind of have a graw for the place, and he definitely kind of instilled that into us.
We're in the heartland of forestry around here. You know, a lot of businesses are built on the forestry industry around here.
No, I'm a lot younger than the boys, and I was never pushed to doing physical work very much. But like sure, we loved. That's all we knew. You know, every day we were down here.
It was always nice to come down. There was always someone different in the yard. There was always someone there. You know, there was always a bit of life, like.
It surprises the people that used to call to him, but one stood out. Dolores O'Riordan. Geez, he said, this hippie called today, he said, and she hopped out of a Mercedes car. I said, and what does she do? And he said, there was a man in the yard at the time, and the saw was going, and he was telling me about her, and I couldn't hear him right, but he said, I think she's well known for growing cranberries. So that was my father feel.
Rugog agus tógog clónaí léire I baróiste híl na Martra, ach an daobh híorda I baróiste réan na rí. Counter Gaeltachta se hé, cé bhfuil an Gaeling lag ar llite, ach dintar anna íireachtar fad san áit.
Population-wise, we were very, very small compared to other parishes. The big thing I take from my childhood from Kilmarnock is just how community-based it was, and yeah, they were just great people.
Sé déanú ná créad bhí cear machagum agus níar bheith stí blian gule, idir an cear acu sé sin agus níar cúpla gist, agus do go clíana an taana níana tágain sa blian nócha héan.
Agus nóla fása níos a Gael na Martra, bhí an fell an rud befóhí na héalaige. agus ina bheith núnta sé nuair tugach isteacha an bhiniúr chorcaí, an na chuig chofad le cluthe ceannis na hÉireann im líon an 2000.
From Kilmartin, no one else had played into county football, really. It was great for the parish, great for the club at the time, and obviously for my parents.
Hastig goig a bheith páirteach agus a bheith buachant. Sprelin all a bheith buachant.
I'd say I was the smallest on the team. 13 out of 15, I'd say we're well over 6 feet.
Tréiste I chéad bhán na léir na bhuachtant, bhain Noel ardhainmh as an bhairte chuireach rompa is stáisiún an cheanta I gorcaig, agus a meascan tlua bhí ceiliúra bhí Larry Tompkins.
He said, look, we're training on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whatever it was, and he said, I want you to come in. So I was absolutely over the moon.
A few good young fellas there, and particularly Noel Donovan, Noel O'Leary, Nigeria in defence. So.
At the same time, my father, he had a huge issue with, I suppose, not being mature enough for senior football. So I said, the best thing now I'll do is I'll tear her into training now on Wednesday night and say nothing at home.
Agus nó dingin sinna the chasiem dúr chelling grifte dal amach le carte. Ach an brod nára vistigan grif an mála leis na broga agus an caite machan na ógaige. Hánig an cargus go sé an mála stachas an gluisteánas dim sé leis go corcaig.
I'd say trained with him for, I'd say, a good 3 or 4 weeks. And we had Limerick in the league. He brought me on with about 10 minutes to go.
Bhí mar na sbhail agus bhí mar I géisteach le radio chorcaí agus an hiadra deile scór ag Noel O'Leary. Agus bhín an chiadúir go raibh is a going go raibh Noel fiúháin mé go corcaig gan bachan bheith me isteach a gimmert.
You'd think I'd be delighted with that, but the first thing that hit me in the head was like, Jesus, the paper tomorrow morning, if there's something on it about it, himself will see it, and there'll be murder.
Give him a ball and he out of grass. He'll give you a move for the perfect pass.
Tréiste Noel bheith imil an chorcaí le 2 bliain anuas, tugach a hensta sa tra I 2003.
He had come to me and said, look, you're going to get your shot here for the league. You know, you've got to really stamp your authority and the likes, and I'd say I went slightly over the top on that, in that I picked up a yellow card in every league game that year, and probably lucky enough to not to get a few red ones as well. But I was making a statement, no doubt.
Munster's biggest day in football. Beautiful setting.
Tréiste áit bhuan a bhaint amach ar an chorcaí, for Noel blaisir den atmosfér doichrete a bhain na cluichí ceannis na mún I gcuine na seannaid I Ciarí I 2005.
On an MD. Vís brote. Pastras a buint leis. De gachéantais mahór ní bhain dumpsa ach de gachéantais mahór.
As a child, they're the games, they're the ones you want to be involved in.
Very awkward angle. Tricky kick. An amazing point by Noel O'Leary. This is dangerous. O'Sullivan rifles it in. The opening goal of the game. Cut out well here in the first attempt by Gary Murphy, but he's left it behind to Colin Cooper. And that's enough. And the Gooch is dangerous. And Kerry are once again the champions. Kerry have come to the heart of Cork City. They have beaten the brilliant challenge presented this afternoon by Cork.
Noel O'Leary's first Munster final in 2005 was probably the first step on the way back for Cork.
Yeah, I knew, you know, after that again, you know, it was another step in the ladder.
Cé go bhfuair an Loch Glanta spléacha ar an stíl imre hasaí bhí gan Noel ar a barc, is beag go higann saol mór an tragóid a hála ina héal persanta cúpla bliain roimhe sin.
My cousin Mark, he was like another brother really. We just grew up together from nappies all the way up. He had a relationship in school, like I suppose we all did, and that broke up. And I suppose we didn't think much of it at the time. I can just remember walking home from school with him. I knew he was in bad form, and you know, I was saying, Mark, look, we'll go out next weekend now, and we'll go to a disco, or we'll go to, you know, we'll head out and like that. There's plenty more fish in the sea, and he was a good-looking guy, and there was no fear in that way. And yeah, I was just trying to get him going, really. And he said, no, he said, I won't. He said, I won't go this weekend. He said, maybe next weekend. Monday morning, I think we were getting ready for school, and my father came in, and he said, look, lads, he said, Mark, he said, passed away, he said, this morning. And it was kind of hard to process the thing there and then, but it was kind of, you know, it was devastating, really. When it all happens, you know, I suppose the signs were kind of there, but you still think it's just a bit of a phase.
Bhuaileann tragóid Noel agus an próistear fad an tarnahuair, nuair a bhain timpist as an gnáchar fad siar go mór asta.
Hen tragóid is tragóid uvásacha, ach nuair a hálíonn sé gáhuair, tá sin níos meas a ríist.
I had a friend, Vinny. He came to me and he said, you know, he said, I think a quad bike and a spreader and a sprayer would be a great idea. And he said, I think a lot of farmers would give us business. We decided, yeah, it was a great idea. It was a Wednesday evening, we were at home. Vinny landed on with the quad bike. You know, he said, I'm going to go up the top of the field there, he said, while you're playing around, and he said, I'll be down there again, he said, in 2 or 3 minutes. And when he was coming down, he turned to the right, kind of across the hill, and the quad turned over, and he wasn't moving, and we ran over, and we knew he was in big trouble. And they were loading him onto the ambulance. I think we all kind of knew, just from their body language, that it wasn't good. And we got the phone call in that he'd passed away on the way into Cork. You know, another young man gone. It was hard.
In achar bliana, agus Noel fós na déaga, chuid sé bertas na daoine a bounce leis. Agus is bailach nar a bheith sin an taon ábhar dó láis a bheith rimis.
This St. Patrick's weekend, find all the luck you need at Mace. Like Tato Hunky Dory's Crinkle Cut range, any 2 for $3.50. Pepsi 7-Up or Club 2-litre twin packs for just $3.50. And Villa Maria Sauvignon Blanc or Pioneer Malbec only $10.99 each. Make this weekend sham rock. Mace, going the extra mile.
Why should I be framed?
Is minic hen effective 5 ficus farsanta her horsey aragadish. Is it na rodi nach meanling, I cohortsbottle a zefica vet na gooshlen ar ma. Fire asher and moher le tacu to harvis dofanacht in heren. Corach realtas navsblach a chaurien le 5 ficus farsanta. Fek back and track punkai.
Don't miss out on fantastic Green Days offers at Yisk. Right now you can save 20 to 50% on garden items. For example, get this hanging
Times enough to kind of call a spade, and I think Kerry were a better team than Cork at the time.
Chance here for Sean O'Sullivan. It's on target. In first by Craig, turns and puts it over the bar. And here come Kerry. There's a chance here. Good defending, and it's got over the bar. Some activity going on, as you can see. Noel O'Leary and Paul Galvin.
They really hit the ground running above there, and we just didn't have the answer for it.
More of the stuff that we saw in the quarter-final.
That game, you know, it's really a blur, really.
Towards Kieran Donaghy from Paul Galvin. it's the Gooch. Turns onto his right. And that's over the bar. Here's Noel O'Leary. And that is well wide. Not the right choice, I'm afraid, Noel.
It's just such a poor performance, and it was something that, you know, that we were very extremely disappointed about.
Bhí a héile díomá an andóibh an bhliain dar giún ag gluthe ceannis na mún.
Battle between Graham Canty and Donaghy. It's Coach Cooper inside the cover onto the right boot. Goal for Kerry. The referee is giving a yellow card to Paul Galvin, and Noel O'Leary gets away scot-free. Back to Kieran Donaghy. Floats it in. It's curling. It's curling, and it's over the bar. The referee has blown his whistle, which gives Kerry the Munster Championship.
It certainly was an eye-opener in terms of the expectancy and the level that Cork needed to be.
In ein oin gur bhíad Cork ag tánistí na mún, a bhachas strachtúr na críomh ag an am, agus a gúldoras, bhain idir cléthe le cheannis na héir namach I gcuine na mí.
We hadn't performed in semi-finals, and this was, you know, the time to perform, really.
I remember Billy Morgan was going through the roles and responsibilities of each player, and as he came to Noel, Noel stopped him dead and told him that under no circumstances was there going to be any hassle, that he was going to beat Graham Geraghty with football. So obviously there was a few raised eyebrows.
He had imposed himself on a lot of guys coming into that game, and I just said, you know, it'll have to be different today.
And an old antagonism that was there in the 80s seems to have resurfaced.
A few minutes in, Graham Geraghty is lying on the flat of his back, Noel with the hands up in innocence.
O'Leary definitely pushed Graham Geraghty, who went down, and then everybody started to join in. It was quite unnecessary.
Needless to say, it wasn't football. Noel tried to beat Graham Geraghty, which...
Well, if the referee saw that, I think it would be a red card.
Noel was lucky to stay on the field that day. He'd probably admit that himself.
I know we had a bit of a tango or whatever, but football-wise, you know, we kind of got back into it again.
Connor goes solo. Fabulous point. Picked up by Noel O'Leary, who's dominating and right half back. Getting inside the cover, gets inside Creeving King, there's a slight deflection. It's a goal for Cork. Noel O'Leary giving the ball inside. There's a chance for another goal. Going for the point is Pierce O'Neill. The Cork footballers and Cork people will now be heading back to the capital for the All-Ireland final. Will it be Kerry? Will it be...
In those days, if a referee gives a yellow card when he should have given a red, he gets an email saying, you know, with a video clip saying, would you look at this again and see if you think that you still hold the same position? And mostly the referees would say, well, no, that should have been red. The referee stood his ground and said no. If he hadn't done that, then Noel O'Leary doesn't get to play in his first senior All-Ireland final.
If I had been sent off, it could have cost the team a victory and an All-Ireland final. And then kind of reality hits. Discipline was probably something that I flirted with in a big way in my career. There are times, you know, that I certainly weren't proud of.
Living on the edge is when sometimes you do your best work, and when Noel was on the edge, that's when he was operating 100%. And we knew that, and we knew that there could be consequences at different times for the group.
Nor a chuaigh sé amach an bar, stochan ar a bhéan smachtaige. Bhíonn sé péród a bheith sé a chuireadh ceall an imiróir bhí na chuineh.
You'd be very clear, you know, that this wasn't acceptable as such, you know, and that, you know, whilst we admired his aggression and it was an important part of his game, that needed to be controlled.
Agus nóla tuairteigh a chéad chraibhéireann, bheith sríon a chuir an gléine taidech a bhí an mar imiróir.
An All-Ireland final is a big occasion. It was really important for the people of Cork. It showed that we were going the right direction.
Towards Owen Brosnan, and he's been marked by Noel O'Leary. They've kept Noel O'Leary away off Paul Galvin. That's interesting. Kerry recycled again with O'Mahony. Last year's man of the match in the All-Ireland final, and that's over the bar.
Our attitude was we were going to turn them over, you know. But, you know, they had an exceptional team, and they had key players in key positions, you know.
Scanlon, back in, the goalkeeper comes, he misses, and it's in the back of the net, and it's Colin Cooper! Lobbed in towards Cosson, catching it well, just as he did in Killarney, and just as he did in Killarney, he puts it over the bar. He hasn't scored so far, but he does create havoc, and he's creating havoc here, and he's got an open goal! Oh, what a gift that is!
The goals, you know, probably did kill us.
On as far as Owen Brosnan hasn't scored so far in this final, trying to put that right. Here's another chance, and another one for Donaghy! Kerry can do no wrong. Cork's full back line all over the place.
It's how easy we made it for him, you know. That's what kind of galls you.
Kerry retain Sam Maguire. Deservedly, they win the All-Ireland Championship.
I kind of felt after that All-Ireland, you know, that we really needed to push on, and you know, we felt we could, but yeah, that was a tough one to take.
Bíod na seannaid de Kerry a bheith le Corca go réist, an nuair seo
but we clawed our way back into it, got a couple of goals.
Aiming it in towards James Masters, and Masters has scored! Not quite over yet. Here's Canty. Is it a penalty this time? It is! He scored! They're level! Is it to go to a replay? It's ended level. They're going to a replay. 16 points apiece.
In the replay, we definitely felt that we were getting closer.
Knocks it forward to Noel O'Leary. Always puts his heart and his soul into everything that he does out on the football field. Tommy Walsh is doing it against Dermot Duggan. Here's an opportunity! Opening goal of the game. Back to Goulding. Likes to kick with the left. Might fist this. He's kicked it in! What a time to get a goal! And it's Daniel Goulding.
Kerry kind of started getting away from us a small bit in the second half.
Back here towards Kieran Donaghy, trying to go by McMahon, and does so with ease. What a start to the second half! What an absolute blitzkrieg start to the second half!
Again, we clawed our way back into it. Pierce O'Neill got a great goal.
Pierce O'Neill can fist this one. He can goal! Pierce O'Neill! It's a 1-point game! And Cork are right back in it!
With 5 minutes to go, I got a fierce cramp in my leg. Kerry must have seen it, and they brought on Darren Sullivan. They fed him the ball, and he took off. And I tried to stick with him. He came in along the in-line and popped it to Cooper.
Darren O'Sullivan, there's a support player, there's another goal, and it's Gooch Cooper!
That was the nail in the coffin.
It's all over, and Kerry finally beat Cork in the All-Ireland football semi-final, and the unbeaten record of Cork has gone.
They're neighbouring counties, and they played each other so often at that time. The rivalry became quite intense.
Cork were obviously coming hurt a lot of the time because obviously Kerry were on top. So every time we went out to play Kerry, there was always that level of aggression that we wanted to prove ourselves right rather than proving others wrong.
Leanan na muoch idir Corca agus Kerry, ach bhí ómuocht eile a techan solis idir Noel O'Leary agus Paul Galvin, agus nochtach go Saléirí in Ahimert chléir lechanis na múin I 2009.
We would have always looked at Noel as someone who could do a good marking job on Paul Galvin, and you know, I'd have been quite clear in terms of instructions with Noel. Look, that's your job. You need to tie him down, you know, and that sort of thing. Now, equally, you're saying to Noel, listen, Noel, we got to work this now within the rules. We can't leave ourselves open in terms of, you know, being a man down.
Noel O'Leary paired up with Paul Galvin again this evening. They know each other very well.
Coonan had spoken with me before the game, and he said, look, expect this, you know, he's going to try obviously to impose himself on you, and you need to be cool here now, be calm. I'd say about 25 minutes into the game, we started niggling.
We have an off-the-ball incident here. Paul Galvin was the player on the ground.
I think he might have thrown an elbow, and then I probably threw something back, and I got caught bad actually. He was looking straight at it, and I knew when he ran over, you know, my show was done.
Off the ball, well off camera. Pat McEnany obviously saw what happened, reached straight into his back pocket, and has shown Noel O'Leary a straight red card.
I think the only saving grace was, you know, I was walking off, and I said, geez, whatever about getting sent off, he's after get away with it. The next thing I heard the roar from the crowd, and I looked out, and he was given a red card as well. And not that it made it any better, but it definitely, you know, took the sting out of it a small bit anyway.
And you get the feeling that the summer is only starting for both of these teams. There is much more to come.
Vi deist in orm, egen aum. Ach, cad vi fi an my elder. Irish the leanship, lehannig snapa pear, hook sé aber kind to the locht na main.
That really was the moment. I was extremely disappointed in myself, to be honest. That was a moment where I said, yeah, this thing kind of has to stop, you know.
Bégan den Noel díú a bhíonach lasánta a barca chur fesmacht, agus éis a golabhúdach le canis na héireann don tarna huair ina mecht 3 bliana.
In 2009, there was a sense that Cork were beginning to arrive. They had the experience of having been in an All-Ireland final in 2007, which had gone badly for them. It was still experience.
We knew we had the work done. We trained extremely well coming into that game.
And the All-Ireland football final gets underway, and it's Cork who play from left to right, and straight away Nicholas Murphy hit there. Oof, always high.
You know, people make an awful lot out of that incident, but like, people forget, you know, it's like Kerry laid down the law, you know. But Cork scored 1-3 in the next 10 minutes and went up 4 or 5 points.
Comes back towards Colm O'Neill once again, kicking off his left this time. Beautiful kick, and he puts it over the bar. Release quickly to Paddy Kelly, hoping it'll draw in sufficiently. It's moving, it's travelling, and it's gone between the posts and over the bar. Oh, O'Neill's after it. Oh, what a goal by Colm O'Neill! 10 minutes are gone.
Before half-time, Kerry got back into the game and they added a few scores.
Cracking it brilliantly and putting it over. A second for Ty Kennelly. And they have scorers coming right, left and centre. The latest one, Tomas O'Shea.
These Cork-Kerry All-Ireland finals were a great opportunity for Cork because there was a new history ready to be written about All-Ireland finals between the counties.
It's a 1-point game. Cork won 9, but Kerry still the leaders on 13 points.
Geez, with 12 or 13 minutes to go, I remember Jack O'Connor up and down the sideline and he panicking. He knew Cork were coming.
It's a fine point for Kerry. They may have been under pressure for a long, long time, but they gave Cork a timely reminder that they're a dangerous side in attack.
We had left the gap too much at the end of the day. Again, small margins, but look, you know, we came out second best again, unfortunately.
Kerry win the All-Ireland. Kerry are the All-Ireland champions.
People say Kerry beat Cork. Cork beat Cork that day. You know, and I'll hold that statement till the day I die. Like, it wasn't Kerry beat Cork, it was Cork beat Cork.
Now, you know, they played 2 All-Ireland finals against them, you know, failed to win either.
I remember we having a chat as a group downstairs in the Burlington, and Conor Coonan had made a promise to us that morning that we'd be back here again in 2010 to win the All-Ireland. And I remember sitting next to Noel, and he just clapped my leg and he says, we'll be back here next year, kids. And for some reason, the hurt from that All-Ireland final loss, we wanted to get back training straight away. We were ready to go.
Sa trasa tuairmid cuairte chudas na láithreacha sport is sunta sí agus is spéisiúla sa tír seo agus ar fuid an dain mhór. Ina háantasan ráid sa tóirir an stair agus an seanachas sa bhaine le háitna ná fuilchó go lánta céanna ach atá na seasamh go tréan a grílár an phobail mar chórad an mórtas cinine. Mar chuine go bhfuil an sport fitte fuite na héal, tá fánar an nucha dhéanamh ar an mrí, an splódar agus ar an riocht a bhaine lenar muirt órga.
When you're all back together for a special meal, heartburn and indigestion can pull you out of the moment. So if it does, take Gaviscon Extra tablets. They neutralise acid fast and build a protective layer lasting up to 4 hours. So you can get back to the celebration. Live in the moment with Gaviscon Extra.
Saving money is so important right now, so SuperValue make it as easy as
1, 2, 3, go!
1. We match Aldi on the products you buy every day. 2. Great Mother's Day special offers like SuperValue Fresh Irish Round Roast, now half price. Cadbury Milk Tray from €5. Champagne Pierre Darcy's only €20. And 3. Money off vouchers every week on the app. So, save money the easy way and follow the 1, 2, 3 only at SuperValue.
What's that?
Air Gigabit broadband.
What's a giggly bit?
It's our best ever broadband. Way better than cable. So the internet won't blip like it did before when your mum's on a video call and your brother is gaming.
Yeah, but how though?
Oh, well, it's 100% fibre, so no more sharing the line with the neighbours.
Mrs. Murphy was on my internet. What is she saying?
Get Air Gigabit broadband. Sign up today and get 1 month free.
Is this a good time?
Maybe. Is it windy out?
It's pretty windy.
You're grand, so work away.
If you'd like to take more control of your home's electricity usage, sign up to ESB Network's pilot program. Thousands of homes nationwide are already on board, and you could even get rewarded for joining them. Sign up today at esbnetworks.ie/pilot.
The Euro Millions jackpot is an estimated €40 million.
The National Lottery. It could be you.
Is problem who had a fish. Och, ni feiden om an chuidella de mahale chavig brandwoord.
Will ya look who's back?
Hello again, world.
Agus diamána bliana rábíle san naí a líga trámid a gríthe, bhain Noel agus fuin chorcaí chléil le cheannis na héir na macha rábíle sa dé, a gúine áclia an uair seo.
Cork emerged through the qualifiers and for once didn't draw Kerry along the way, so they kept going.
That semi-final was a massive occasion, like in terms of an atmosphere, in terms of what Dublin brought to the table.
Now Corkery brilliant ball in, he's got away. Goal for Bernard Brogan. What a start for Dublin in the second minute.
Of all the games I ever played, and the atmosphere that day was by far the best atmosphere I've ever played in.
Walsh going for that. Here's Noel O'Leary. Up and down here for the very talented right half back. No score for either team at the start of the second half. McConnell for Dublin in front of Hill 16. There's the first point in the second half. Here's Bernard Brogan. The exact opposite of O'Gara in terms of shooting from point.
When it was on a knife edge, Donnacha O'Connor stepped up to the mantle with a penalty.
This could really kickstart Cork's challenge. They've been to get back to the All-Ireland final. Goal for Cork. He sent Cluxton the wrong way. That was not a clever challenge at all. And Ross McConnell has been sent off. 20 seconds to go, and O'Connor has slotted it over the bar. He knew from the moment that he kicked it that it was going over.
Down the stretch, we pulled it together. Donegal kicked a few frees and a penalty, obviously, and experience won the day, really, like.
Cork closing in on a place in the All-Ireland final, and they're back again. They will have the chance to put right the wrongs of 2009.
An builder fi sé doislete ná ire. Gachtig hí bratacha, mach is gachtig, gach finneog, tithe maisithe, choirí coronáde.
On the banks of my own lovely
Hí sciúb scab ar ticéada, hí mar an anim déad amach míle ticéada gile martra, beidir stíalad an chlé áirisin.
This thing that's going around that, you know, carrying Tyrone out of it, and that, you know, the quality mightn't be there, but, you know, a bad team isn't going to get to an All-Ireland final, and, you know, they're a great, great footballing team.
It's North versus South, down against Cork in the 2010 GAA All-Ireland football final. Is it to be a repeat of 1990 when Cork last triumphed in football?
History was kind of telling us that, you know, Down couldn't be beaten in an All-Ireland final, and this kind of rigmarole.
With team captain Graham Canty ruled out with a hamstring injury, his place in defence goes to John Miskela. The midfield consists of Alan O'Connor and...
For him not to start in the All-Ireland final, it's, you know, definitely threw us a bit. And I think it showed in the first half.
Oh, he's gone well ahead and he loses his control and lost his way. That should have been another scoring opportunity for Cork. As far as Noel O'Leary, back here to Paul Kerrigan. Well, it's midway between the corner flag and the goal post. Back once again towards McComiskey. Looking to shoot under pressure, and he's put it over the bar, and it's a great start to this match for Down.
It was a jittery performance, and I think that was purely down to that lack of winning in Croke Park.
Canty coming in for his 49th championship match.
When Graham came on in the second half, you know, everything just fell into place.
Awkward angle, what a score! Daniel Gooley's got his 6th point. Coming cut inside here, dangerous, great score. Paul Kerrigan's first. Well, he's going for the point. If he makes it, it's an amazing point. It's a wonderful point.
Noel's primary job was to shut down Marty Clark, and we knew that if we turned him onto his weak side, that it would give us a chance in the full back line. And every single ball that came, Noel was touch tight.
He's fouled by Kevin McKernan, and that could be enough.
I ran down the side and said, put that out over the line. I didn't, once the ball went dead, I felt the time was up. I just had a massive fear that they were going to break up the field and get an equaliser, and I'd be having a good chat with Daniel afterwards.
There it is, and it's all over. And Cork are the All-Ireland football champions for 2010. Celebrations all around.
When you get over the line like that, it's not really the victories, it's the tough times you put down, you know. Like, we went through years where we couldn't win a first round with Cork, and they're the things you think about, you know, those times. Things start flooding in fairly lively, you know, just everything we've gone through, and I thought about them the night before, and you kind of make the three guys who are driving for us, really.
No iscintim tachtan áde tógantum cornson, bhí sin doislete. Agus the léim se gan out an áde an bhalla leis corn.
There's nothing beats turning the corner in the Grand Parade and seeing 40,000-50,000 people in front of you, and you know, they're just absolutely delighted.
20 years is a long time waiting, and it's great to see such a crowd here in Cork tonight. Very emotional for everyone.
You always remember the homecoming to Cork, fellas letting their hair down and that sort of thing. It lasted a bit, all right, so it did.
Tánig an corn go híl na matra. Bhí na cíata daoine ann an éis sin, bhí sé doislete.
5 for Law.
2 kilometre rian aulmhór réimar Noel, agus is cúis mhór bróidéad an gcumann beag atá neadathe iníothar Chorcaí, gur be Noel an 10 dá gcuid a bhfuil bán ile éireann buaitiige.
Gan de chlub ní lean rud agat. Mar sin tá sé anhachtach go mbeadh club láidir agus go mbeadh an bunús san ag gach imiróir agus buchas lédí tá sé sin agus bhí sé sin i gil na matra.
An cumann fíorthachtaach fad don bubble. Crí láir an phobal in áíire tá an farc tócan sa láir an phobal agus is sort mice is in áíire do bhhaintear an foráiste go léir.
My club is my club, and it's where everything started. I grew up with nothing else really, and that was born out of my father playing with Laochra, and obviously Jord then, then he's very infectious in relation to his graph for football here in the parish. We just started to win at underage level, and I suppose the hardest part really is to transfer that on to senior or junior level at the time. We were quite lucky that that core group of players stayed together.
Picture a bhí spáint hús I barc an Crocaigh tre Stephen an Craibh Comórtas a bhuacant agus gan dát an lámúr dúin chéin 2018 nuair a bhuiineamar an Craibh idir bhean na Corcaigh amach. Bé nolig an céad duine a dimar le Corcaigh agus éigimmart le Laochra comma. Sort ceanna sin nolig ina láin slite an barc agus den barc comma.
Tá áitir le 1 kilometre a Green Noel do bhar na Pelican dát, ach tuis gur bán chomá a dá sé héin agus a bhain chéile ímar in níos le chéile.
Yeah, na going ar chéile riamh agus bhí an dá clán an na cordúla na chéile agus fadó bhúla mar na chéile club ó riad as an mácrama agus I suppose the rest of history.
Marada, I suppose she hit the jackpot that night. Vocal des Cuan, Sharon Wallace.
Oh yeah, Sinead, yeah.
She's very reserved and a quiet person and a very humble kind of a person as well, and she's a great mother and just I suppose a great friend. She's just been really someone I've relied an awful lot on over the years, so yeah, that's Emer. Mary's the oldest, and Mary is a kind of a soft old soul enough. She definitely kind of takes after her mother a bit, alright. She's just kind of very kind-hearted. Hannah then is kind of boisterous, and she's kind of bossy and definitely a different personality, but they're happy, and that's the most important thing. Our passion was kind of always out here and to build a house here, and I suppose even more so, I suppose, since we had 2 girls, and I suppose just seeing them running around here and loving country life, it kind of makes it, all hit home.
Big sé anias na Calini a bheith fáú sa ceantar seo, agus big si duine an na seantais mór agus na Colcarga, agus táid an sásta fú sin freisin.
Bes go destas na Calini fás níos in san counter an na rugógus na tógu a dismóirí.
Sin chlánan ar táchtaí a gánaí den Noel, agus búdar imní de heiligí léire, chorá a bhí ag Noel le náthir.
Dar sé go raibh anna trí seachar feadh cúpla seachta, agus dúirt an doctor go raibh feadh óháin aige, bhí sé seachta 3 bliana d'aois, agus bhí sé ag obair cosúla duine bheithe trí, agus dúirt sé gach rud a dhéanamh níos máil, ach chuna bheith céad fan géad sásta, thóg mé samplah
followh agus samadan bhí gléach sa bhaile agus dúirt an doctor go raibh na samplaí arás agus go raibh rud éigean mí ceart.
He was a very fit, healthy, strong man, and a man that was never sick. He was diagnosed with a very acute form of leukemia. He had only about 3 weeks to live. It was like, you know, people all over were shocked, you know, for the man he was.
Bhí mar dad bliain pósta a míon bheithh sa bliain fihe. Bin sí ceirhís ar bhfuair sé bás. Agus bhí sé an ard farm na místa sin. Bhí díreach cóisiir going sa bhaile, díreach an chlán goléir agus na garfáistí. Agus bhí anna rán hána going agus do bhain sé anna hása bhas agus díoch sé go húntaach an íhear sin. Tá sé dechar hiiscint. Tá an ail sé grán an galre agus is spoilach nach míon an leis a gánaí an an do bhíní ach caiimí gur suas leis.
When he passed away, the sawmill was at home then, vacant, and the four of us came together, myself and Colm, Donald and Cleana, and I suppose we had the decision then to make whether, you know, we should just close it down and
Báin a buint le saoil Noel. Agus tólam go raibh láidreacht áirithe buint leis agus gur chabhraigh an fellis. Ní slí beag agus slí anóhar.
He could shield fellas, you know, he wasn't buying dummies, he'd read the situation, he'd be there before the men. If it was anyway 50-50, there was only going to be one winner.
His playing style was probably a reflection of the excellent upbringing he had from his community, from his family.
Cuineoig daoine ar istóchar mar an fear fian bhí chu gimmar do chorcaig. Na cartaí buí agus na cartaí dearga go léir fuairse léiring an tréimhse sin.
People talk about going to war. Noel is someone you'd go to war with because he'd always have your back. He'd always stand up for you. And he'd never have a bad word said about anyone within our group without challenging it. And Noel isn't someone you'd want to challenge.
The biggest moment of my life was really getting through what happened outside of football, and for me it was a left or right decision, and I can assure you there were plenty of people that could have led me a different direction. When I look back on my career, while it might not have anything to do with football, it certainly had a big bearing in my career playing football because, you know, like I say, it could have gone a total different direction.